Okay, to start adding your team members and members of staff to your brand new account and allow them to go in and start managing information on behalf of your business, go ahead and click on settings down here in the bottom left corner. This will then go ahead and open up this settings portion within the software. So then go ahead and click on My Staff within the left-hand sidebar. This will then go ahead and open up the staff settings section within the settings of your account. So if you already have staff members set up in your account, you will now see a list of staff members listed here within your account where you can manage them, remove them, and change settings and things like that. However, to add a new member of staff or a new employee, go ahead and click on the Add Employee button up here in the top right corner. This will then prompt you to go ahead and fill in the information of this employee, such as their first name, surname, email, phone, and extension if applicable. You can also click on Advanced Settings and set up a password for them in advance. However, if you choose not to do this, once the account is set up, the user will have their own option to input their own custom password when they're setting up their new account. Most people leave this blank, and it's usually preferred, unless for a very specific reason why you need to create a custom password for them, to allow your members of staff to create their own password. You also have the option to connect them to pre-existing calendars. In this case, we do not have any calendars set up, so it will be grayed out. However, if you already have existing calendars set up that you would like to assign to this employee, you can do so in here. You can also go ahead and create a custom signature for them on their behalf. So if you have a custom template signature for all members of your team and you'd like to input this into their account on their behalf so they don't have to later down the line when they sign up, you can do so here for them and it'll be ready to go when they sign up for their account for them. Just make sure that if you do this, that you are selecting the enable signature on all outgoing messages right here. This will enable this feature and keep it enabled when they set up the account. So once all of this information is set up, go ahead and click on the save button down here in the bottom right corner, and this will bring us to the next portion of the account setup. So the next portion of the account setup for your employees is the roles and permissions. Now this is a really crucial point for all users and all employees within the software. Do you want your employees to only manage the information and features of the software that are only directly related to their roles within your company? Or do you want them to manage all roles regardless of relatability to their role within the organization? This is entirely custom to every single person and every single employee. So please go ahead and assign the relevant roles and relevant permissions to each employee that you feel is necessary. You can also assign a user role. So if you'd like them to be an admin, they will now have access to everything within the account. However, if you assign them as a user, they will have limited access to things such as account settings, payments, billing, that kind of stuff. And you can now go ahead and set the roles and permissions for this user inside of the account. So for example, if you do not want your employee to be able to manage account settings as well as account tools, you would like them to be able to access the calendars, but you don't want them to be able to manage blogs, or you would just straight up not like them to be able to manage funnels as well as email marketing as well as the membership area. You can leave them blank and disable the features as you please. If you'd like to disable individual features of features as a whole, for example, you'd like them to be able to manage payments, however, they are not allowed to cancel subscriptions or issue refunds, you can do so within here. They'll still have access to the payments tab and be able to view and manage payments, but they will not be able to do these specific things. So please go ahead and have a look at all these features and please enable and disable whatever you feel is necessary for the employee that you are currently adding. Once you're happy with all the features that you have selected, go ahead and click on Save in the bottom right corner, and this will bring us to the next portion of the account setup. Okay, so the next portion of the account setup is the call and voicemail settings. So this is actually where we're able to assign an individual contact number for this employee. So if this employee has a dedicated phone number or requires a dedicated number within the account for prospects to contact them on, you can go ahead and set this up in advance and then select this number in the inbound number box. If you don't have a number already set up, this will be grayed out. As well as setting a dedicated number, you also have the option to forward calls to a specific route. So this could be web app, it could be a mobile app, or it could be their mobile number. So to do this, go ahead and just click on each one that you want, or go ahead and click on all of them if you wish. This will ensure that all incoming calls from prospects go through all the relevant formats, giving us the best chance of making sure that every call gets answered by our employees. Next, you have the default channel for Ring All. So if you have one phone number set up for your entire company and prospects will phone the one number and multiple employees have the answer to take that call, then this is what Ring All will be for. So if you would rather set the default channel for this Ring All as web app, mobile app, or phone number, then anytime a prospect rings through, you are guaranteed that that call will come through on either the web app, mobile, or phone number across all members of the team. However, once you have forward calls set up to all mediums, as well as setting Ring All to either of these options, you're guaranteed that your calls will be picked up by all your employees. Next option then is default channel for IVR. So same thing as Ring All. So go ahead and click on the default channel for IVR and whichever medium or channel you would prefer those to come through. Finally, we have incoming call timeouts and custom voicemails. So most people will leave their incoming call timeouts at 10 seconds. If you'd like to stretch this up to 20 seconds, you can do, or bring it all the way down to no timeout, and you can do. Most people will leave it at 10. However, this is entirely up to you. And finally, then we have a custom voicemail feature. So we also have the option of uploading a custom MP3 or WAV file of a custom voicemail that you can set up per user. So rather than voicemails being played by the default phone carrier's message, you have the option here to upload a custom voicemail, which will add friendliness and professionalism to your business, and also reassuring prospects that your call will be returned and they will get a chance to speak to someone within 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever works best for your business. So once you're happy with how everything looks in here, go ahead and click on the save button in the bottom right corner, and this will bring us to the next step in the account setup. So the next step now within the account setup is go ahead and set the availability for this employee or this user. So similarly that we did in the personal profile video where we set up our own individual user availability, we can actually do so here on behalf of our employees. So for most people, this will be Monday to Friday. However, if you wish to customize the days of the week, you can go ahead and click on each day, and this will include the days here in the list below. In this case, we're going to do Monday to Friday, and we are going to do 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. here in the time boxes. So this will do Monday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This user is available. If you want to set the same times to each day of the week, go ahead and click on this copy button here on the right hand side, and it'll automatically copy those times across each day of the week. If any of these days of the week are different, for example, if they only work till 2 p.m., let's say on a Friday, we can go ahead and customize that and set that to 2 p.m. here. We also have the option going back here to the top to set the time zone for this user. So wherever this user is in the world, we have the option to set this time zone so that they are operating within their time zones and that these times work for them. We also have the option to set a meeting location for each of the meetings that this user takes. So this can be on a Zoom account, this can be a physical address or a phone number. Now these will appear on the email invite and the email event that gets sent through automatically when they book events through a calendar. So go ahead and select which one of these works best for you. And then if it's Zoom, for example, you'll be prompted to connect your Zoom account in here. So go ahead and click connect and follow the instructions by Zoom to integrate your account. Please be aware that if you are connecting Zoom, please make sure this is a separate Zoom account than your personal Zoom account. This should be a Zoom account that's specific to the employee that you're adding, not a shared Zoom account or anything like that. The reason being is you don't want meeting locations to come through on various Zoom accounts that aren't relevant to that employee's meetings. So once you're happy with everything and you have either connected your Zoom account, set a physical address or a phone number, and then set up your time zone as well as the times that that employee is available, go ahead and click on save again in the bottom right corner, and we're brought to the final steps of this account setup. So the final step now of the account setup is calendar configuration. So this is where we can configure and connect pre-existing calendars or video conferencing accounts and softwares to this employee. So if you have a company-wide calendar or a company-wide video conferencing app, you can select these as long as they're already set up within settings, my profile, and calendar settings within the account. Same thing for video conferencing. If you have one software across all the employees that they can all manage and it's already set up within settings, my profile, calendar settings, you can go ahead and select these within this menu. If you haven't set these up or they don't exist, for example, employees have their own individual accounts for every calendar and every video conferencing app, this is something that the employee should be able to do themselves, and these won't appear in the drop-down menu here. If that is the case, please refer your employees to the calendar tutorials within this course, and then we will show them how to set up their own custom calendars in their accounts so they can start taking bookings straight into their calendars and start taking meetings on behalf of the business. However, once you've completed all these steps for setting up a user, your employee will automatically be emailed a link that they can go ahead and click, set up a custom password, and set up their own personal account within the software. And as mentioned, if there's any specific questions that your employees have, please go ahead and refer them to this course, and we'll show them how to set up and how to answer any of those questions that we can possibly help with.